programs, photographs of our collection that we have. And we're going to start out with probably one of the greatest world junior champions of all time. Here we go.
Yeah, Danny Hodge.
Danny Hodge. Ronnie, you want to go over there and zoom me in, cameraman, for us there? And we'll turn off this too. Danny Hodge was not many people could beat this man. Tremendous. This is our father. This was photographs that he had collected throughout the years, and I believe probably sold.
I think you're right.
Some point during his deal. Okay, Rodney, you can go off of that real quick. All right, the next thing we're going to look at, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and I don't know what year this. I don't know what 1978. That would have been a little bit before the breakup with all the people. But we see Don Fargo here. He was the World Brass Knucks champion. Inside, Ronnie Garvin, Rip Smith. Y'all remember a Rip Smith?
I remember the name.
He looks familiar, and it may have wrestled under another name in other places, but he looks familiar.
Now, here we go. No DQ match. Slinker, special guest referee, as we see Big Joe LeDuc against the Mongolian Stomper. And I believe this was right after they did the thing where they smashed the concrete
cinder block. Yeah, with the sledgehammer.
Because the card was Rip Smith against Don Fargo, Bob Roop against Ron Wright, Professor Boris Malenko versus Rodney's favorite Kevin Sullivan. Mm-hmm. No time limit Southeastern Tag Team title, Dennis Condrey and Phil Hickerson against Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. No DQ, the Mongolian Stomper and Don Carson against Joe LeDuc and Ronnie Garvin, special referee Ron Slinker, U.S. Karate and Judo champion. Here's a very young Jimmy Golden. And there we see Dennis Condrey, Phil Hickerson, and Ron Wright on the set. Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
They were a great tag team.
All right, then on the other side, Wrestling Fans International Association's top wrestler, Robert Fuller. Look at him styling and profiling over there with them sunglasses on. And here is Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan there. He did. Well, that's just a shell of Kevin Sullivan. Very good wrestler, by the way, at that point in time. So, all right, here we go. World Heavyweight Champion, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Harley Race. And he's going to be at the, looks like he's going to be at the Bill Meyer Stadium. Wrestler versus the Knoxville News Sentinel is going to happen. And also on the 23rd, a wrestler, does it say play W? I'm guessing that is a baseball game. So, hey, they did baseball games. At least they didn't do them before the matches. And then we see Robert Fuller here as well. I wrote on that. That was, I won't even go into that one there. Picture of J.C. Dykes, Jimmy Dykes. These things used to say what year this was. But great manager, by the way. We never got to see him, but the people that say he was one of the best. And here is a publicity photograph for the UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation. That's Bill Watts', not that crazy Herb Abrams. This is there we see Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy with the UWF. I believe that's the heavyweight championship, isn't it?
Yep, that is.
Is that what that says on there? Great picture, by the way. This would be put in the newspapers and stuff. Another great wrestler from Continental Championship Wrestling, 1987, Scott Armstrong. Great pictures there. Here is Birmingham, Boutwell Auditorium. No, I don't believe this is I think this is State Fair Arena. There you see Ronnie West with the White Lightning, Tim Horner. I think he was the U.S. Junior champion at the time. Here is a photograph. Wrestling 2. Ronnie West. And this would have probably been about 1979, 1980. Rode together a lot on the trips. And Wrestling 2 would keep his mask on for 45 miles. And he would say, "You think you're ever going to take that thing off?" And he would not. He hated, didn't you, Rodney? Going in the stores with the mask on. He absolutely hated it. He just did. He didn't want to do it. He just, man, I ain't going in there with you. You're going to wear that. Here is Harley Race, NWA World Champion. On the back of it, Dick Slater at the TV station. Drew a lot of money. Now, this was 1978. This program's 1978. Who's the I can't see, so am I got it up there good enough?
Yeah.
Who's the champion?
Got Wally McDaniel. Harley Race, the World Heavyweight Champion. Georgia Tag Team Champions Dorian Terry Funk. Georgia Television Champion Thunderbolt Patterson. Georgia Heavyweight Champion The Superstar.
And then we let's see if I can get this over here so we can see this picture good.
Yeah, that's Wahoo McDaniel. And this is when they still had the set where they had the microphones on the set, and on the monitors, Terry Funk, and this is when they kept the Georgia Tag Team belts in a display case.
Who? Oh, they were on there the whole time. That's how they. All right, so here we go.
Rick Martel and Tommy Rich against Stan Hansen and Mosca. Wrestling 2 on Fire against generic wrestler number 1 in the mask.
Ronnie West
in the corner.
He's saying, "Hey, that's the finish. I get to go back for a while."
The great Atlanta City Auditorium.
He might have been the only referee that night, though. So he might have been just standing in the ring. A lot of times he refereed the whole night. You don't see guys do this anymore.
No,
roll
not very often.
I always got over. It always got over. All right, here is Thunderbolt Patterson and Ole Anderson. And then the Stardust pressure, Dusty against the Superstar. All right.
That's the one where Dusty told him he was going to take his mask off. He's going to take everything and be running naked down Peachtree Street.
Yeah. All right, Rodney, I don't know if I can see this.
Wrestling 1 and 2 against Jim Dalton, and Butch Malone. And that was, remember New Year's night, Monday, January the 1st at the Omni, and it looked like that was the same match. Wall McDaniel, give him the chop. The King there, Rufus R. Jones and Santa Claus.
Still right there.
Yep.
Hey, I don't remember Santa Claus being in the crowd that night. It's funny. We went to this TV station so many times. A lot of times we sat in this back. We actually sat in the back row. We'd sit way back here in the back, and this would have been the time we would have sat back here. In 1980, 81, 82, we would have been in the back on the sets and stuff. But always enjoyed the fans. There was only maybe. Well, how many fans was in there? 100?
Oh, yeah, I know it. No, that's probably they probably had close to 150, 200 in that studio. I was watching this Georgia Championship Wrestling from '79. That place was packed. Kenru.
By the way, I hung this up. That's the reason I still got this. Dusty Rhodes on the bottom of it. Publicity photograph that was used many places. Ric Flair, World Heavyweight Champion. I believe the reason we got all these, they for some reason they said it was too light or something, and we ended up with a ton of these things. Here is another publicity shot for Ron Garvin. This was actually on the back cover of the program. I believe Les Thatcher was doing the program at this time. I'm not for sure, but I believe he was. Here is Tony Atlas on the back of there. Wrestling 2, and Tommy Rich. All right. I'm not going to be able to see this, so y'all tell me if...
Looks like Carl Cox says Curtis Brazil. Bottom, Carl Fergie and Bob Armstrong. And then on the other side is Ernie Ladd and Ole Anderson. And Early's doing the big leg drop Dad's doing the referee, and it says right there, Ladd does in an opponent as Ron West and Ole Anderson looks on, and then it's Buzz Sawyer against somebody with Tommy Weathers and refereeing that match.
I think that was Tommy Weathers, and this was 1979, by the way. This was 1979. All right, I'll open this up. So
that's like Bobby Heenan jumping off the top rope. Tony Atlas with a sleeper hold, and you've got Jacques Goulet and let's see, is that Ricky Fields? That's Ricky Fields, and down at the bottom is Chris Markoff and Buzz Sawyer.
all right. Do we already go that way?
Yeah, we've seen that one.
Well, evidently, I went the wrong way, didn't
And
I?
it just so happens that I watched a video on YouTube 1979 about this time. And it's just great stuff. Ole Anderson, Ernie Ladd, the Georgia Tag Team Champion Superstar, Billy Graham, Stan Hansen, and Bob Armstrong, Ox Baker.
All right, one more, and then we'll see what people have to say. Hey, look at this little drawing here.
Now, this was Columbus.
This is Columbus, Georgia. Bill. This looks like it says Bill Paxton did this. And,
Would make a great T-shirt.
There was
a good T-shirt.
There was a great artist. Wrestling 2 would get all kinds of stuff the fans would make for him. They even made him a Columbus Heavyweight Championship belt, I think, at one time, and had Mr. Wrestling #2 on it. It was good looking stuff. They presented it to him earlier in the show.
Hey, Jack, did you go to this show? It was March 19th.
Sure I did.
Comes up, Georgia Heavyweight Championship is Austin Idol against Mr. Wrestling #2. Georgia Tag Team Championship, Ivan Koloff, Alexis Smirnoff against Tony Atlas, Lars Anderson, Baron von Reska against Kevin Sullivan, Jim Nelson against Chief Jay Strongbow, Bobby Garrett against Big Bill Drummond.
Yep, I remember that.
On the back.
I remember buying a lot of those programs. I wish I still had them.
All right. And then we got Tommy Rich in action in there. That's just some of that. That's just some of the programs and the photographs and stuff that we've collected throughout the years. And so I said, how do I turn myself off of there?
Oh, I can do that.
It's been a while since I turned myself off. Just great memories of professional wrestling. And Jack, I know you got great memories of Columbus, Georgia.
Sure do.
And you said you might have been here for this one.
I'm pretty sure I was.
Did you ever go to the TV, Jack?
Occasionally, I didn't get to go there a lot, but probably about once a month I would make the
I
TV.
love that place.
Yeah.
I love that place. They charged to get in there as well, did they not?
$2.
$2. I remember us walking right by them. And
Jack was probably at these matches
it's possible.
when we were there.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly, because I remember your dad being there. I remember meeting Jim Nelson there.
We were probably there because Dad he kicked somebody there one time in the audience. We'll tell that story one day. Irvin Smith is what Charles said. This Rip Smith guy. He said his name was Irvin Smith as well, but he didn't wrestle very long. I don't think.
No.
I don't believe so. Richard Hood is checked in with us. I thought Phil Hickerson was great on the mic and in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Rick Brooks said Danny Hodge roughed up Ole when Ole was starting out. Yeah, Ole tells the story that there was a group of people standing there, and he looked at Danny Hodge and he said, "I'll take that little one right there." And he said it wasn't no time before he had me hurting. He said he had me tied up. And he said that was the only man I was scared of after that was Danny Hodge. He said, I said yes, sir, to him.
Yeah, that little one wrestled at about 220. And could hurt anybody he got in the ring with.
Yes, he could. Guys, I don't think WTCG Johnson held that many. I can't remember. I know it was around 100 people, though, I'm thinking. It could have been less.
That was however many people they are, they were really loud and they were into it.
Well, they were. Jax, thanks for filling me in about the North American belt situation that I know Buddy was recognized as the retired champion.
Well, they continued on the title after that. They just retired that uh, that particular belt, and then they had a new belt created.
You know, Brian, unfortunately, we did not have wrestlers sign stuff.
And there was a reason for that.
You would be considered marked by them, and our dad just did not want us doing it, and so we never got anybody to sign anything. Never got a picture with anyone. Unfortunately, we just did.
Yeah, as long as I was in, I didn't start making pictures with guys and really until after JYD passed away. And then I thought, I missed. Wished I'd had that.
We were only allowed, for whatever reason, Dad let us get some autographs from Dick Slater and Mr. Wrestling 2, which I have it somewhere here. And we had to do it, and we didn't want Dick Slater to sign it. Dad had to make us to get Slater to sign it.
Wrestling 2 was the only wrestler that we actually went in the back and met. Mm-hmm. The rest we met, but just circumstance would meet.
Yes.
But we wanted to meet Wrestling 2 because Wrestling 2 was our hero, and we wanted to meet him. And then we got to ride with him so many towns. I'll never forget. He brought us into we was in Rome, and he said, "Hey, we're fixing to start riding together." And he said, "If anybody asks, I'm your uncle. I'm your uncle. And if you tell anybody that I'm Wrestling 2, he said, I will whip you myself." And we believed what he said was true. And Dad was there and said, and he will, and I will allow him to do so. And but we rode with him from like 1979 until like 1983, 84.
Yeah.
And enjoyed because he was a lot like us. You know, he didn't do the things that a lot of people would do, and so he enjoyed riding with us. All right, Jack, anything you want to talk about before we move on? By the way, Brian wants us to buy some autographs. I'm not buying no autographs.
Well, I'll just emphasize that, a lot of times in this industry, when you're on the outside looking in, there's a lot of guys that you look up to and you kind of hero worship in a way. And then when you get to know them, you're disappointed. Wrestling 2 was one of those guys that did not disappoint. He was the hero behind the scenes, just like he was in the ring. Great, great guy.
Yeah, he certainly was. And Bob Armstrong was another one.
Yep.
That was a tremendous person. And, even though, there's a lot of bad things being thrown around about Tony Atlas, he was always good to us.
Yes.
I'm not saying he ain't nuts or anything now. I don't know. I can't tell you. But he was always great to us. He always treated us really good. So, and there was a lot of people that was that way. But and then there were some that you meet that you went, I wish I wouldn't have met that person.
That wasn't until later, though. I don't think
No.
It wasn't not until the '90s WCW days that started.
Yeah,
I do remember the night that we went back and saw too. It was and he was really good with us.
Yes,
he was really good with us. And the fact of the matter is it wasn't just special for us that night. That's the way he treated all the fans when he met them. It's really great.
Robert Grice, is there an autograph of a current wrestler you would want? No.
I would take Vince McMahon on a check.
Well, there you go.
No, there's not a wrestler out there. Probably the only performer that I would like to meet, and that's not a wrestler, probably be Dolly Parton. I think other than that, I don't know of anyone else that I would.
I've only got two. Here's one, Bill Eadie, the Master Superstar, and I've got Lou Thesz. I can't reach him. That's the only two I have after 46 years of doing this.
Would there have been people that I like to took pictures? Yes, I would love to have done that. It wasn't. We were probably frowned on back then, so you wouldn't have done it.
Not
inside the dressing room would have got you fired.
Yes, it would.
So
but even the pictures you saw of guys together from back in the day. Now, it was because they were legit friends outside of the business. And so those pictures they're hard to see. I mean, they're hard to find. There's not a lot of.
I enjoy looking through these.
And honestly, if we would have been autograph hounds, we would have been put to the house.
Yep.
Yes. Brian said he met Dolly Parton. I have met Dolly Parton a few times. I used to work Carson. She's a wonderful lady. That is the only person I would like to meet, and I probably would like to get an autograph of Dolly Parton. I've always liked her, so I'd like to meet her. All right, guys. Anything we need to talk about before we leave tonight?
We got it.
All right, we'll give you more. We'll show you more. We've got all kinds of programs and pictures, and we also have a book with all the cards for a long period of time. While Ole Anderson, our father, was booking World Championship Wrestling, and we'll go through some of those at some point and let you know the cards that were done during those times. If you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube because it'll tell you every time that we upload a video. Well, we hope they do. Now, not always will that happen, but most of the time we hope. And go one step further. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know every time that we do upload a video. It'll come right up and say, hey, guess what? We're live. And watch the video right there next to Rodney. We'll see you on the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.
No, we didn't say that Ole Anderson was our father.
No, we did not say Ole Anderson was our father. No.
Our father is Ron West.
There we
Not
go.
Ole Anderson.
No. Thank you all so much, and we'll see everyone on the next edition of Pro Wrestling